so there's a lot of... Welcome back, folks. So today we're going to take a look at the all-new OLIGHT ArkPro Ultra. And so this is perfect for those who want to take that ArkPro package and totally maximize it in terms of the capabilities and basically have all the features that can fit into a package this size. And I have to say now, over the past 2 months of using the whole ArkPro series, been very impressed with all the capabilities and just how good these lights are, and also just how versatile they are too. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, this is the biggest question probably of all, there is a price premium here with the ArkPro Ultra over the regular ArkPro, the orange one right here. And so why pay the extra with the Ultra? Well, there's two reasons. One of which is that with the floodlight, there is a couple hundred more lumens. OLIGHT uses their own self-developed proprietary LED in the Ultra. And then also too is the difference in the alloys here. So with the regular OLIGHT, they use their own proprietary aluminum. To me, especially they machine it out of a solid block of metal. To me, this is plenty strong. You can see it looks almost like brand new. I've been using this for 2 months just about every day. The Ultra here, it has a alloy which is stronger than titanium. So if you're like, look, I do not want to compromise at all, and in the size and weight constraints that we have in a package this size, give me the absolute best possible metal you can. And that's what OLIGHT here has done with the Ultra. So I thought this is plenty strong enough, but pushing it to the max, you got it right there with the Ultra. So that's where that price premium comes into play. First thing here to kind of take a look at before we turn the light on is just the chassis itself. And that's one area where OLIGHT, I think, did a great job with this. And it is a very kind of stout, you can tell, chassis, but also too, it's very light. When it's in my pocket, I don't really notice it at all. And also by not having all these different pieces in the assembly process and all that, those are just kind of areas where you could have structural weakness. So having this whole solid kind of carved out of one piece of metal chassis is a big plus in my opinion for this. Now they're also very wise too in terms of this side here. It has kind of a nice smooth surface, which is great when you actually need to put it in or out of the pocket. I've had trouble with different lights before, trying to get them in or out of the pocket. You're like fighting, kind of grabbing to get it out of there. So this it has just enough friction there where you can get it out easily. But then also too here on the sides, they did a great job with kind of the stippling. So when you hold it in your hand, it's got plenty of grip there to actually hold on to the light with no problem at all. Now the smart thing they also did with charging here was they have a USB charging port here, USB-C charging port. And these days, I mean, pretty much everything is going to USB-C charging. It's just a universal type thing. So for them to include that is awesome because pretty much that's what I usually use all the time. And then also too that they do have is they still have their magnetic attachment point here with the regular OLIGHT kind of cord that you can use. So if you still want to use that as well, that's very possible too. Now the clip here on the back, they're very wise about with this. Two different ways you can slide it on, either right here or underneath here. And so the good thing about it is that it's nice and long. And a lot of times I've seen with clips before in the past where they're too short, too narrow, and they kind of easily pop off whatever you've clipped it to. So this nice, long, deep, you know, especially if you're putting it in your pocket or whatever, less likely a chance it's going to go anywhere. To turn it on or off, it's just going to be a simple press until the light comes on, take your finger off. And then same thing if you need to turn it off, just give it a good press again, and then off we go. If you need to go to turbo mode, it's just going to be a quick double press. And right to turbo mode there, okay? It'll punch it right into turbo mode. And then again, we'll go ahead and go off. Now, if we need to go to strobe mode, it's just going to be a quick press 3 times. 1, 2, 3, okay? And then into strobe mode. And then also, anytime that we want to switch between the different lighting modes, like we'll go ahead and turn it on here. Like here we have floodlight activated. So floodlight, and you'll see this out in the woods, floodlight is really good for kind of lighting up a whole area out in front of you. If you really want to kind of douse everything with light, a floodlight is perfect for that. If you need a more focused beam, you can immediately switch it over to the right, and you'll still have a degree of light cast out there, but then also too, there's kind of a sharper, more focused beam, and also too, this is going to give you extra distance as well. So if there's something that you really need to focus in on, and also too, if you want to pick up a bit of distance with the light, then switch it over to the spotlight. Then we also have the UV light. So the UV light is going to pick up anything that fluoresces. A lot of times different liquids and stuff like that might be leaking. These days they make a lot of motor oils, for instance, that have kind of fluorescent stuff in it, to where you can use the UV light to pick up if it's leaking anywhere. Also too, if you want a real kind of freaky thing, go into a public restroom that's dark and turn this on. You'll probably see shocking things that you don't want to see. And other things too. You can go opal hunting in Australia and kind of pick out opal out of the ground. It's all sorts of different little uses you can use the UV light for. Also too, if you have a night optic and you need to cast some extra light out in a dark room and you have a night optic on, you can use this as well for that. Then the nice thing is there's also a laser incorporated into this. So let's say if you're working in a factory or something like that and you need to point something out, or you know, you're working out there in construction or something along those lines, this is the lower setting right here. So you can also use this in conjunction with a light as well. So if you need to light up an area while using the laser, you can do that too. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn the light off there. But the laser there, again, pretty useful. Just remember on the lowest setting, that is the more safer setting. When you do dial it up to the higher setting here, and we'll demonstrate that out there in the woods and stuff, just remember with this is that it goes to like a class 3R laser. So you don't want to be bouncing it off of any reflective surfaces or towards people's eyes or anything along those lines. Now also when you first turn the light on to the right there, it'll give you, there's 4 bars there to tell you battery life, and then the other 4 bars over here to tell you the intensity of the light. If you need to adjust the brightness, pretty simple, just hold the button down and it'll cycle through all the different brightness levels, all the way from moonlight all the way on up. And then turbo, of course, you need to activate with the double press. There is a lockout mode where if you hold it down for 2 seconds, it'll go ahead and lock it out. The light will briefly come on to let you know that. And then to get it off again, all you got to do is just long press down for a second until the light comes back on, and then just take your finger off the button. So folks, here we are. The sun has set and we're out here in the snowy woods with our ArkPro Ultra. So first thing we'll do, and we have the exposure set, so hopefully it picks up more light and you can kind of see the everything a little bit better. But we're going to go ahead and go to turbo mode right out of the gate here. So quick double press, and there we go. So there's our turbo mode. So a lot of folks point out, you know, with turbo mode, it's only going to last in the top, highest, brightest setting for just a couple minutes. But it's a thing of where the whole point to me of turbo mode is to really light up an area very quickly. Kind of not necessarily emergency situation, but you know, something where you really need to cast that light out right now and make it happen. And then we'll go ahead and go in turbo mode here all the way up to our spotlight here. So you can see that we can see hundreds of feet pretty much all the way up and around where that road disappears and well beyond. Probably the camera's not even going to pick it all up, but definitely here with turbo mode, you can really see how it really picks up the light. And even shining here into the woods, and we'll shine over here out this way. I mean, that turbo mode, if I got to light something up fast, we can go right to that turbo mode and get it done. So that's a good thing to have as a feature on a flashlight. The end of this is our moonlight mode here. So this is just going to be a long press to hold it down, get moonlight on. And you can see with the moonlight here, this is where if we need to inspect something, if we need to read a map, whatever, this is perfect for that. We want to conserve battery life or something. We're just around the campfire or whatever it might be, and we just need a little bit of extra light. Maybe we wake up in the middle of the night, we're out camping, whatever. Yeah, this is perfect for that. The other thing too, if we have to, I have it in spotlight here, but it's enough where if we have to, we can use this to walk along and conserve that battery power if we want. So it's a thing of I can see plenty, you know, well into the distance there with that and be able to see where I'm walking. If I want to go to floodlight mode, it kind of reduces the distance, but it lights up the area a little bit better. Now let's go ahead and step it up to the next highest mode. And with this, you can see that it really lights up the area even more. So this is just one step above moonlight. And then now if we want to cast extra light out in a spotlight, where I just flicked it over to that, you can see we're in spotlight mode here. You know, it's enough to, that's pretty good, you know. So it's enough where I can walk along with that, do whatever I need to do, and then back to floodlight with that, just to kind of flood an area. For instance, if I had to work on a vehicle or something along those lines, let's say something on the Can-Am broke down or I got a flat tire, yeah, I could easily use this mode to see what I'm doing. So you can see it casts plenty of light there to basically get that done. Now the next mode up, we'll go ahead and step it up one more. So this is the next brightness level here. And so you can see even more light, more flood, more distance, much brighter. And let's look out here to the left, out here kind of in the field. And we'll go ahead and switch it over to floodlight. So think of this as kind of like the medium setting of all, okay? And with this, we still, like at distance, it's not, you know, it's not giving me as much detail, but it's enough I can kind of, there's trees out there, whatever it might be. Here I am at the foot of the mountain, okay? And so just beyond those little trees there is the mountain. So we're just right here at the foot of it. So, you know, I can look around, I can kind of see everything that I need to, all that. So now let's go ahead and switch it back to floodlight. There again, to kind of see the difference there between the two. Next step up in brightness. Now you can really see casting even more light. And this is kind of getting up close to turbo. And then we've got the spotlight here. Now really at distance, I get a lot more light out there, okay? Now let's go ahead and demonstrate the laser real quick. And so here's our laser here. Let's kind of focus it on the tire there. We'll step it down in intensity. And so this is the lowest setting right here. So I'm pointing this kind of at the tires of the Can-Am here. And if we wanted to adjust the intensity back up, there we go. We can go ahead and do that. And we can also add the light in as well. So if we need to add light, we can do that independently along with the laser. So you don't have to just rely on the laser pointer alone. You can also use the light in conjunction with it. So here, if we need to use the floodlight or if we need to use the spotlight, we can do that and adjust the brightness of the light independently. So folks, in the end, this ArkPro Ultra, definitely check this out. OLIGHT did a phenomenal job packing tons of features and capabilities into something that is an everyday carry pocket light. And also too, with all the different brightness settings, the UV light, the laser, the floodlight, the spotlight, wow. It really is just absolutely phenomenal. It's no joke with these. Make sure you get yourself one. I don't think you're gonna regret it. They are awesome lights and they work really well. So hopefully the testing convinced you that just how good these lights are. And stay tuned, more videos will be coming soon.